Before I became a full-time Etsy seller, I was a construction worker as an electrician for 6 years. I knew that wasn't the path for me and I wanted to take an entrepreneurial route, so I decided to take a leap of faith in 2016 to jump into the Etsy seller journey. And since then, I've never looked back. So today I'm going to share with you my tips and strategies on how I was able to become a full-time Etsy seller and how you can achieve the same. So let's get into it. Question number 1 by Rebecca. When we first opened the Etsy shop, how many products and listings should we sell? So there are many different Etsy strategies out there, but what has worked for me and my students is starting out with 16 to 24 listings. And once you've seen results from there, then you can strategically build more listings based on what the results you're getting from those initial listings. A common mistake I see a lot of new sellers make is they will post 1 to 3 listings in a shop and they don't see any results and they're like, hey, this doesn't work, Etsy doesn't work for me. But that's a huge mistake, because if you think about a physical store, when you go to the mall, if you approach a store and there's only 1 or 2 products on the shelf and the rest of the shop is empty, chances are you're going to think this is not a cohesive shop, it's not a professional shop, and you probably won't even look into it, okay? So I believe it applies to online stores as well. You want to make sure you have a full collection of products. Number 2 by Hans. Realistically, how long does it take to launch a shop? Depending on the difficulty level of the products that you're creating and launching, it averages around 1 to 3 months. And that's what I've seen for myself and also for our students. And once you've launched the shop, you can potentially start seeing results the following day. Question number 3 by Ron. How much did you cost when you opened your first shop way back to your first time using Etsy? So for the very first shop that I launched when I started seeing results, the cost of launching it is similar to when I've launched my 5th shop now. So I have a total of 5 shops now, but it averages around $60 a shop. I've made many videos in the past where typically it costs around $10 for the product creation tool, whether you're using Canva or any other product creation tools out there, and $20 for different researching tools. And lastly is the mockup. So I pay around $20 to $30 for high quality mockups because it's really important to present your store in a professional way. So I like to invest a bit in the quality mockups. But typically for me and my students, $60 is what you need to get your shop up and running. Question number 4 by Shiraz. Do you need to advertise your Etsy shop? Yes, for any online store that you have, you always need to have some form of marketing or some form of advertising. But for us, we like to use the organic SEO route. I don't do any other external marketing, and we found amazing results by just leveraging different keywords, by putting it in your listings. And what you're trying to do is figuring out what people are searching for, where the demand is coming from, and you're creating products for it. So you're adding those keywords in your titles, descriptions, and tags, and all over your shop. And that way you're able to get organic traffic, organic free traffic to your store. And it's a very sustainable way to running your business. And that is the primary strategy that we like to use. But there's a lot more that goes into it, but high level, that is how we advertise our shop. Also, if you're interested in learning how you can build a profitable digital product shop, then check out our free masterclass. You can find it in the descriptions below. And we pretty much cover everything that you need to know to getting started. So I'll be answering a lot of different questions. I spent a lot of time building up this masterclass. You'll find a lot of value there, so check it out. Question number 5, Cassia. How exactly do you find a low competition but high search volume niche? So great question there. This relates to the researching phase, and it's the first thing you want to do when you are building up your shop. And in order to find a niche that has a low competition and high search volume, you want to use some researching tools like eRank. You can check out also in the description, but that is something you definitely want to do because you don't want to tap into any categories out there that are very saturated, okay? Let's say you're on eRank, you want to type in certain keywords that you're trying to target. And from there, the platform will show you how many people are searching for that keyword and also how much competition, how many sellers are also trying to market to those keywords. And from there, you can see a relationship, a ratio between the demand, how many people are searching for it, and also the competition rate, which is the supply. And that way you can see a ratio between the two and determine, hey, is this a good keyword to tap into? Is this a good category? Is this a good niche that you want to pursue? Number 6 by Kristen. Do you recommend having each shop focus on one niche? Yes, when you're first starting out, I definitely recommend you become a specialist in a specific category, because a lot of shops out there that you see who are top sellers who've been selling for years, you would be like, hey, they're selling a bit of everything, they're generalists, Brandon, how come you're telling me to become a specialist? Well, in order to try to compete with the top sellers currently in the market, you need to be specialized. You need to have an authority in a certain category so that when buyers are shopping and they're comparing your shop versus a bestseller, they'll go with you just because they're like, wow, this new shop, they're really honed in one specific category. Even though the bestsellers, they may have more reviews, right, more sales, but I'm still going to go for the new shop just because they seem like they really know what they're doing. They specialize in this one category, this one niche. And from there, once you start to see success in it, then you can slowly expand into adjacent categories and slowly saturate more and more of the market. But going the specialized route is a strategy that we like to do in our academy, and we found a lot more success doing that way than being a generalist store. Question number 7 by Tarsia. How much does Etsy cost to maintain on a monthly basis? So there's no monthly cost to Etsy. The only cost for Etsy is whenever you list a product, which is 20 cents per listing. And that gets charged when you first upload the listing, but also as each time a listing is sold, it needs to get renewed and they'll charge you 20 cents on that. But it's totally fine if you are making the sales and then they charge you afterwards. I think that's okay. But in terms of monthly cost, there's nothing like that. Question number 8 by Vanessa. What is a mockup? So whenever you're looking on the Etsy platform, when you're searching for different products and categories, you can see that the thumbnails, the different slides, they're all showing the product in a different way. For example, if you're selling lard, they like to put it in a frame or they put it in a specific interior design. And this is a good way to let the buyers know how that product is being used. And it's a lot better than just slapping on the JPEG or the PNG and just letting the buyers imagine it itself. You really want to visually let the buyers know how the products are being used in different use cases. I think a lot of people are not fully executing their mockups correctly, and we go way more in depth in the program because I believe it's one of the most important parts to storytell your products and to let the buyers go through a journey as they're looking through the listings. Question number 9 by Aisha. What do you use to create products? So when it comes to creating the products, you always want to know what products you're creating first. So for example, if you are creating resume templates, you'll need to use Google Docs or Microsoft Word. Or another example, if you are creating Notion templates, chances are you'll need to use Notion to create the templates. So you want to reverse engineer that process, first knowing what products you're creating, what you're trying to sell, and from there know what are the options, what are the different programs and softwares to create that end product. Question number 10 by Roa. What if I don't want to share my products on personal Facebook or Instagram pages? So perfect, that's just like me. I don't want to share any of my products and shops all over my personal social media as well, because I'm not really a big social media person when it comes to my own personal life. So the only thing you need to do to promote it is just within the Etsy platform. And that's what I love about it. All you do is have the right SEO in the titles, tags, descriptions, all that, and you're able to get free traffic from the marketplace. You don't need to try promoting it on your own social media channels or anything like that. And that is strategies I've found to be most effective, and I think it's one of the most sustainable ways of running your Etsy shops. I've had shops that opened up over 6 years ago and is still making me sales every single day by just using SEO and leveraging the organic traffic on Etsy. And if you want to learn my full strategy on how to leverage SEO to gain free traffic, in my free masterclass I go way more in depth, so definitely check it out as it's too long to talk about it in this video. Question 11 by Marina. I know this is about Etsy, but I was wondering if opening a Shopify store in parallel would also be profitable. Yes, opening a Shopify store can definitely be profitable, but the amount of effort needed to go through the Shopify route is a lot harder than the Etsy route. And that is one of the main differences, is that Etsy has an existing active audience who are looking to buy certain products on Etsy, and they're typing in those products directly. And all you need to do is just to align your products with the buyers. Whereas on Shopify, you have to go out and shout out your products and just let people know, hey, go buy my products, buy my products. So the marketing strategy is a bit different between the two. And I've done both. And honestly, Etsy is way easier, especially for beginners who don't want to put 90% of their effort into marketing, because on Etsy, all you need to do is just create good products and customers will come. Question 12 by Maria. Do you need hundreds of listings to be successful? So no, you don't need hundreds of listings to be successful. I've had shops in the past where I've only had around 20 listings and it became a very successful shop. Same with other students in the program as well. We started with 16 to 24 listings. And they were able to get sales literally the next day after they launched. So it's pretty incredible what you can do, but it really depends on your strategy. I know there's many different strategies out there, so I'm not saying this is the only one, but in certain digital product categories, you don't need that many listings. You just need to create high quality products. Question 13 by Jay. How long before you make your online shop sustainable? So for the first shop that I found success in, it took me a couple months, to be honest. And at that time, I was still working as a construction worker, as an electrician. And day by day, I was looking at my phone, looking through the stats. And every day I was getting a few more sales here and there. And at one point I was like, whoa, I'm actually making more than my current job right now. And on Etsy, all I had to do was just customer service, and it took a few hours a week. So at that point I was like, you know what? I gotta quit now because I'm making way more from my Etsy shop. So I quit and I ended up backpacking around Southeast Asia, South America for over 2 years. And that was all because of the shop that I had. I was able to sustain myself over those years. And that shop is still making me sales to this day, but I've opened up multiple shops ever since. But it's definitely possible and it's very sustainable. It took me 3 months for the first one, and over time, the new shops that I opened up, it got quicker and quicker, and the results were bigger just because I understood how it worked and I was able to outsource, getting different designers, right? It's a whole thing. But yeah, the first one took me a few months. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. And again, check out the free masterclass. I know I've answered quite a few questions in here, but I go way more in depth in that masterclass because I created a whole presentation. So check it out. You're gonna find a lot of value in there, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.